everybody, and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2003. It's the second race of the 2003 Winston Cup Series season, and we are back at North Carolina Speedway, affectionately known as The Rock. Did not necessarily do too great here the couple races we did here last season, hoping to turn that around this time. As a reminder, though, we do not have a 100% chassis or engine, as we are saving those for a faster track like Las Vegas, as well as the fact that we will have upgrades on the car very soon. We have a new engine with an upgrade coming after Vegas, and then we'll have a chassis upgrade very soon, I believe in about 2 races. So across the line here for our second lap, improved by about 4/10, but only P38 for the race.
We're in Rockingham, North Carolina, home of the North Carolina Speedway, for today's race, the Subway 400. Drivers say this place can be one difficult track to master.
North Carolina is a fast track, considering it's only a mile long. The corners are tricky, though, and getting off them fast is the key to getting speed down the straightaways.
Start your engines.
Mark Martin on pole with Todd Bodine alongside. I don't think I've ever really heard such a short MRN pre-race before. That's definitely new. But here we go, green flag in the air, and we are racing for 39 laps at The Rock. Kevin Harvick and Johnny Benson in the row up ahead of us. Bobby Hamilton Sr. starting alongside us, but we do get ahead of him on the start, moving us up to P37 here. Got a couple guys behind us like Greg Biffle, Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane. One thing to remember at this track from last year is the AI will kind of dive bomb into turn 3. They'll even go on the apron to kind of dive bomb, so it makes it a little dangerous just because they can come back up the track and hit you. So that is something we'll have to watch. If they go down to the way inside, maybe just have to let them go or have to move up the track to not get in their way. Between qualifying and the race, I did make a couple setup changes because the car was flying up the track because it felt so hard to slow the car down and get it through the corner. It felt a little tight, so we loosened it up just a little bit, and you can see we're able to run on the bottom a little bit better here at the start at least. As Sadler goes around our outside here, putting us back to P38, but we're going to go back down the inside here into turn 3 here. Without having a 100% engine, though, you don't get that runoff like we were last time we were here. Johnny Benson's actually going to hold up Sadler enough that we'll get to the inside of Johnny Benson. It feels like this is going to be a race where you're just going to have to take your time to try to make moves. You're not going to make moves very quickly. So that's just something we'll have to settle in, work hard here, kind of like Martinsville, where you kind of have to work to set up the pass, and then you get 1 or 2 shots at the pass before you'd have to re-rack and try again. I'm going to try diamonding the corner a little bit there to see if that helps at all. It does allow Benson to get back past us on the outside. We can outbrake him into turn 3 there. Take the air off his nose there, and now we can look underneath Steve Park here, getting to turn 1. We'll clear Steve Park, and now we get underneath Jeff Green. Of course, later in 2003, these two would swap cars. Gonna dive it into the corner here, try to get underneath him. Able to do so. Some surprising names back here and are still back here. We got Jeff Burton, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick. Really surprising to see these guys back here. Kevin Harvick starting to make his way through the field. And oh, we have a new fantasy car, one of my favorites, one of the classics. The Valvoline M&M's car, the 136. A car that would never get approved in real life because NASCAR doesn't allow those asymmetric cars like that. Is it asymmetric? I believe that's the term for it. And it looks like Jeff Gordon for the second race in a row running the Pepsi 4th of July colors for some reason. Pepsi must have stepped up their game this year to sponsor more races.
You're clear.
The first time this season we see the 63 car, and for some reason it looks like it's fixed. If you remember last year, we had an issue where this car had really dark windows and you actually couldn't see the car much at all. Had a weird texture on the windows that miraculously appears to have fixed itself. So we go underneath Shane Hall.
You haven't got much longer on that left front tire.
We've worked our ways up to P30 for now. We do have Ricky Craven all over the back of us here down the back straightaway. He goes for that kamikaze move. He's still on the apron, hasn't come up yet. And we'll clear him again. See if we can try to catch this next group here. The adjustments I made to the car really seem to be helping so far. Seems while track position does matter to an extent, it did not matter for Todd Bodine. From 2nd place all the way back to P29 within the span of 13 laps as Sadler dives it down the inside. Have to leave him the space there with how aggressively he dove it in there. We're going to try 4 wide here. We're going to go 4 wide for a brief moment.
That took guts. We need guts.
Come on. You're clear.
We'll make it stick though. Sadler though still here on the bottom. He's going to get past us. Now, to give you credit though to Elliott Sadler, he did not give up there just because I made it 4 wide. But we did get past both Bodine and Kimmel, so that did move us up to P29. So we still gained a spot in all that. And Sadler not necessarily driving away from us here, so might be able to still make something work, but we overdrove turn 1 there. That's going to allow Jeff Burton to get underneath us. And now we can just try to maybe follow them up to this group in front of us, but the car's starting to get tight again. Tires starting to go away here. So we're going to have to start thinking about pitting soon. We are also on low fuel. So we are going to need to pit soon. And hopefully we don't fuck it up again like we did at Daytona, as we have a blown engine up ahead. Let's see, it is a yellow car. It is Mike Skinner. He was ahead of us on track, and it looks like we got guys coming down pit road here. Don't want to pit this lap. That is a way too crowded pit lane. Try to get it when it's a little less congested. Just because at this track specifically, the pit road being so narrow, it really makes a big difference. You can lose a ton of time from you stopping because of cars pulling in and out of their pit boxes. All right, pit road should be clearing up. It's just going to be these guys here, so let's go ahead. Come on in, hard on the brakes. Make sure we don't speed. I'm actually going to loosen it up just a little bit more, but that should be enough for me, though. How about that? A 15-second pit stop from the crew there. Gonna actually come out ahead of cars we came in with. That has got to be a first. I told you things were gonna change this season, and it looks like they are. We actually gained spots in the pits. I don't think that's ever happened to us before. So currently P28, but more cars gonna be coming down pit road here. Try to hold off the 25 and 36 here. There's Elliott Sadler, who we're racing with, so we'll get back past him. Whoa! I want to say those were unrelated, the contact I had with the 25 and then him getting loose. Because it was well after, but now we have Elliott Sadler right on our butt again, just like we did before the pit stop. See here, we got the 10 of Johnny Benson. Get past him as well. So currently P26, the leader is coming though. But we are also running out of laps here as we try to hold off Sadler. All right, the leader is here. It appears to be Matt Kenseth and then Mark Martin. So Roush 1-2 for the moment. And I'll tell you what, it's kind of like Daytona. We're trying to hold off two lines here. But 25 is going to go past on the high side with the leader. Nothing we can do about it there. So we're going to lose a spot. This is the part of the race where it's really becoming obvious that we are down on horsepower with this worse engine. And it's not that I'm trying to hold Mark Martin off. I'm just trying to make sure the 25 is still nearby. But Mark Kamikaze's down to the inside and gets past. So we're trying to now hold off Johnny Benson. It's just going to be trying to get to the end here. Like I said, the engine being down on horsepower really seems to show in the second half of the race. Not quite sure why. It always seems to be that way. Maybe because the field's more spread out, so it's kind of rubber banding less or something. Not 100% sure, but that's always just how it's felt. Whoa, Johnny Benson gets a little loose there. That'll help us, though. Keep him behind us a little bit longer here. The 25, he has gotten away, but not too much, actually, so that's a little bit promising for our pace, but under 10 laps to go finally here in the race, and we'll get to do one less lap now, only going to lap 38 because we are a lap down here. Looks like third place back there might be Ricky Rudd, so it could be a great day for Ford here. And it looks like Dale Jr.'s back there too, so could be, that looks like that is the battle for third in the middle of lap traffic right now as we continue to try to hold off Johnny Benson. And it kind of looks like we might be making a little bit of ground on the 25, but I'm not 100% sure. Not only did we lose ground to the 25, we also did end up losing a spot to the 10 car of Johnny Benson as well. Unfortunately, the car has just gotten super tight towards the end of this run. Tell you what though, Kevin Harvick had a great rebound. He's bounced back into a top 10, possibly top 5 position as he gets underneath Sterling Marlin. We are going to hold off Elliott Sadler here though. Come across the line, P28. Honestly, a lot better than I thought we'd do, especially starting how far back we did. But it is going to be a Roush 1-2 here at Rockingham.
Not a single caution lap was run in the whole race.
Well, that's good news for all these race teams because that can mean one thing: no major wrecks.
This has been NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, brought to you by EA Sports and MRN. We'll see you next week at Las Vegas.
Really was a day where MRN didn't have much to say, I guess, but we do have 2 engines, so I miscalculated that, I guess. Somehow we've ended up with 2 engines. So we could have used an engine at Rockingham, but now we have 1 spare, so honestly it's fine. That race probably went as well as it could have anyway, so I'm not going to be too upset about it. We are going to go with this engine for Las Vegas because it has a little bit better efficiency on it. In terms of our chassis, we'll go with our highest one. We'll go with 100, except the changes to the car there. Now, taking a look over at the engine, we do have the new one coming in 1 race. We do have to repair one of our engines here, all of them currently up to the best spec they can be. This one being our lowest, though. We'll go ahead and get that repaired. And in terms of our chassis, we're not going to build one simply because we do have the R&D done in 1 race. And Las Vegas is next on the schedule, currently sitting in 24th in the standings. But at the top of the standings, it is Dale Jarrett and Dale Jr. tied currently on points, with Marlin, Harvick, and Kenseth behind. Now, Las Vegas also does mean something. We are part of the Jackpot 5 No Bull. However, I don't really think we'll be in contention for that. We still have a long way to go when it comes to our programs on these 1.5 mile tracks. So probably won't be winning this one, which means we probably won't be eligible for Charlotte. So we'll just have to go for the second half of the season, much like we did last season. So that'll do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more content, including more NASCAR Thunder 2003, and I'll see you next time. Bye!